need to start making myself remind everyone every evening. You, of course, can catch this show on Howard's Cable, Foothills Broadband, and yournewstoday.com. Programming being uploaded the following morning is usually our schedule as of right now, giving you a chance to find Your News Today wherever you are, or catch it again if you so desire. With that said, let's go ahead and get to one of our top 3 headlines this evening, and that is indeed taking the plunge for a worthy cause. The inaugural event that's already been promised to be one that's going to be on an annual basis. This time around, they were very proud to help support the Special Olympics. I made a lot of new friends over at the Paintsville Lake. I saw a lot of them get very cold very fast, and I have an even continued respect for people and organizations like Community Cares who put the event together, and their organization that they chose to support this time around, and that was the Johnson County Special Olympics.
Certainly does take a dedicated individual to pay to jump in the Paintsville Lake in such cold conditions, but they draw their dedication and inspiration from organizations such as the Johnson County Special Olympics.
This is just a great day to come out and support the Special Olympics in Johnson County, and really pay tribute to not only the Special Olympics, but also the teachers and the teachers' aides and the parents and guardians of these children that work diligently to eliminate obstacles and let them have a wonderful quality of life. So it's really an honor and privilege to be here today.
What do you expect it to be like?
Real cold.
And Jeremy was right, and he's also a 20-year athlete who's traveled as far as New Jersey to compete with the Johnson County Special Olympics. And while not everyone came to take the plunge, they were there to show their support for the Special Olympics and Community Cares.
Is there any bets who's going to stay in the longest or anything?
No.
I got the prettiest legs, though, so it's
I don't know, boys. I think Jeff's got us. I think Jeff's got us.
He's got the prettiest outfit, I do believe.
Yeah.
And they all did it safely, with members of the Johnson County Rescue Squad and the Eastern Kentucky Dive Team and other first responders closely watching each diver as they took the icy plunge.
And what we do is different events, at least 4 a year. Like last year, we did the prom dress drive. We raised $32,000 worth of prom dresses that went to all the counties, McGoffin, Johnson, Pike, Floyd, Martin. This year when we met, we wanted to come up with some new activities. So our first activity this year was the Penguin Plunge. And we raised money for the Johnson County Special Olympics. As you could see, we had about 100 people that jumped and plunged in and just had a good time.
3, 2, 1!
Special Olympics is year-round events. They offer lots of events that people wouldn't even imagine, from soccer to bocce to swimming, bowling, you name it, Special Olympics offers it.
We have track and field.
Track and field, yes.
Softball toss. We have track and field coming up on April the 18th at Johnson Central Fieldhouse. Everybody's welcome to come out and see us.
The water's perfect. Yeah, just fine. I'm ready to go back. Everybody come out next year and try it again. Yeah, everybody should come out. It was a load of fun. Yeah.
Loads. So you would do it again next year?
Absolutely. We'll be
I'm
going to be
and we
here next
paid
year.
to do this, too.
Yeah.
We paid to do this.
With about 100 folks getting wet and 46-degree water and weather that's still kind of overcast and cloudy. But we figure it's a great way to kick off spring, and our club continues to do different things to help the community. We're all about not only helping Johnson County, but we're kind of regional. We like to do things like the veterans event we did last year. We involved with McGoffin County veterans as well. So we like to help involve everybody. So as we continue to grow and do different things, we just are enjoying helping other groups raise money or an awareness for their organization. Special Olympics just happened to be one that we really take pride in being a part of. So we were glad that our first Penguin Plunge benefited the Special Olympics.
We've traveled around the state of Kentucky. We've been to Bowling Green, Louisville, Lexington. We have international events, just like the World Special Olympic Games. We have World Games. We've had an athlete that traveled this year in bowling, and he got first, second, and third medals. So it's just it's above and beyond what it offers. and the children. It just is great to see how it affects them, that they can do anything they want to do. So come out and join us on April the 18th at Johnson Central Fieldhouse, and for our track and field event. If you've never been to one, believe me, you will enjoy it.
The first annual Penguin Plunge, a chilling success. And if you're sorry you missed out on it, well, you got 360 some odd days to start psyching yourself up for the second annual event.
I still have indictments, and I still have Montgomery County School Board coverage in that. We'll talk about a pay raise for some faculty and staff. We'll also talk about some announcements in regards to the start and completion for the second, if you will, athletic complex, that being the softball and baseball fields, and some other details that were discussed therein. All that begins right after these words.
To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
Approximately 24 indictments returned last week by a sitting Montgomery County grand jury for a variety of alleged offenses, including theft and drug activity and more.
45-year-old Jamie Reisner of Sagersville was indicted by a grand jury on charges of receiving stolen property under $10,000 and burglary in the first degree for events that happened on or around the 16th day of September of last year, when he reportedly received, retained, or disposed of property owned by Lawrence Hall, and when he entered a residence, or actually building belonging to Lawrence Hall, and then taking those items therein. A traffic stop at a safety checkpoint on the Mountain Parkway back in August of last year on the 5th day resulted in a James T. Morton of Lebanon, Virginia being indicted by a Montgomery County grand jury for trafficking in a controlled substance in the first degree, cocaine, trafficking in marijuana between 8 ounces and 5 pounds, possession of a controlled substance, possession of marijuana, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. 2 individuals were indicted on the same charges for being in complicity with one another, that being a Michael McCarty as well as a Tiffany Cantrell, both indicted on charges of possession of a controlled substance in the first, possession of a controlled substance in the second, possession of a controlled substance in the third, and possession of a controlled substance not in its original container for events that happened around the 14th day of May of last year, when they were said to have been in possession of illegal narcotics and or drug paraphernalia at the arrest of Trooper Dustin Thompson of the Kentucky State Police. That's 45-year-old Michael McCarty and 24-year-old Tiffany Cantrell, both of Sagersville. 34-year-old Linville Hall was arrested by the Kentucky State Police and then ultimately indicted by the grand jury for charges of unlawful possession of a methamphetamine precursor in the first degree. This for an arrest that happened around the 20th day of January of last year. Around November the 12th of last year, Jessica Henry of Sagersville was said to be in possession of methamphetamine and was charged with trafficking in a controlled substance, methamphetamine, first degree, first offense. She was reportedly in possession of the unlawfully manufactured drug and either dispensed or sold or possessed with the intent to do so the quantity of methamphetamine. She also did so in complicity with another individual who was also indicted. That being 25-year-old Matthew Sparks, who was also indicted on the same single count of trafficking in a controlled substance, that being methamphetamine. And on the heels of a report that I ran several days ago about 2 Montgomery Countyans being picked up by the Kentucky State Police for outstanding child support warrants, which have been in effect since 2012, both in arrearage of more than $10,000 each. Another individual, a Montgomery County living out of state now for quite some time, identified as Michael J. Roark, was indicted by a grand jury on a charge of flagrant non-support for being in arrearage of more than $10,125 from a range of around August the 31st of 99 till December the 31st of 2014. The next 2 indictments appear to pertain to the same case. Grand jury witness Mr. Brad Line testified before a Montgomery County grand jury that 2 former employees with Mineral Labs Incorporated of Sagersville were responsible for stealing items worth tens of thousands of dollars from the business. They are charged with removing property, some very small but very valuable crucibles which are used in the mineral testing process, and then attempting to sell them to a company or entity out of state. Reported they removed property from the lab in an estimate of $43,566 with the intent to keep the proceeds from the sale. Both indicted on charges of theft by unlawful taking, $10,000 or more, but under $1 million in value. Again, indicted in that case, 25-year-old Justin Burton and 24-year-old Zachariah Standifer. The following two indictments appear to be related to the same case. Melissa Sparks, 26, of Sagersville, was indicted by the grand jury on charges of possession of a controlled substance, that being complicity with another individual, identified as a Matthew Sparks, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of a controlled substance complicity, and possession of marijuana complicity. And the individual also indicted in complicity charges is 25-year-old Matthew Sparks, indicted on the same charges of possession of controlled substance, paraphernalia, possession of controlled substance, and possession of marijuana. That is also the same Matthew Sparks that I mentioned a few moments ago, as was related to a separate indictment for trafficking in a controlled substance, that being methamphetamine, on a different date. That was a case related to November the 12th of 2014. It's also the same Matthew Sparks that is listed in another indictment, a third indictment against Matthew Sparks of McGoffin County for assault in the second degree. That's saying that he was allegedly or did allegedly commit the offense of assault in the second degree when he caused the physical injury of Melissa Sparks on or around January the 31st of 2011. Three indictments, three separate cases against Mr. Sparks, according to the grand jury. Another case has also resulted in the indictments of two individuals listed by the grand jury as 23-year-old Dale Stevens II and 22-year-old Christopher D. Green, both of Sagersville. State police testimony before a grand jury says that they are now charged with theft by unlawful taking, items taken from a vehicle or automobiles owned by several individuals listed in the indictment, events that happened sometime around July the 28th of 2011. A 37-year-old Mary Gibson is indicted on theft of mail matter for allegedly, says the grand jury, stealing not one but two packages from a veteran, those packages containing his medication. Some says sometime around October the 26th of 2013 that Gibson reportedly stole two packages from a private mailbox from an individual. Inside those packages were medication that had been sent via the mail from his VA doctor. 23-year-old Charlie Rao was indicted on a charge of operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol and or drugs, reckless driving, and fleeing or evading police on foot first degree, related to events around the 31st day of October of last year, when he was said to have eluded police and did so in a reckless manner, also while being under the influence. 40-year-old Zigsby Rao reportedly or allegedly led authorities on a motor vehicle chase sometime around October the 31st of 2014. He has been indicted on fleeing and or evading police in a motor vehicle, terroristic threatening, and wanted endangerment. 4 separate counts of wanted endangerment as it relates to Officers Blake Isaac, Officer Mike Nichols, Deputy Joshua Peace, and Deputy Eddie Collins, who were all active or involved in that pursuit. 30-year-old Sabrina Gibson of West Liberty has been indicted on 2 separate indictments, both for receiving stolen property under $10,000, which are Class D felonies. One relates to receiving stolen property under that amount for events sometime around March the 14th of 2014, and then around April the 15th of 2014. On the other indictment, it says sometime in July of 2014, she was reportedly in possession of stolen property belonging to another individual with full and aware knowledge that indeed the items had been stolen and were illegal to be in her possession. 2 separate indictments for receiving stolen property, both in Sabrina Gibson's name. Indicted on charges of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of marijuana are 41-year-old James H. Howard of Sagersville for events that happened sometime around May the 23rd of 2014, when authorities with the Kentucky State Police Trooper Michael Haney, it says the grand jury witness, testified that he was in possession of a firearm while being a convicted felon, at the same time also being in possession of marijuana. And the final indictment, I believe, is an indictment summons and not an indictment warrant, if I'm not mistaken in reading the document before me. It is in the name of 72-year-old Henry H. Lyon of Sagersville, who was indicted on charges that he reportedly obtained $200,000 from a Mr. and Mrs. John Carpenter in Sagersville with the intent to deprive them thereof. He did so on the 16th day of November in 2012, and then in January of 2014, he passed a check to the Carpenters, one in the amount of $200,000, the other in the amount of $205,000, knowing full well that it would not be honored by the financial institution.
Now, while I've got a whole lot happening on tonight's community calendar, this announcement I need to read before we get there because it just came in. Patchwork play dates for ages birth to 5 years of age, accompanied by an adult, will be meeting at the Extension office tomorrow for 2 hours, 4 to 6 tomorrow evening. They will be having an Easter egg hunt, so bring your basket with you. Patchwork play dates for ages birth to 5 tomorrow with an adult accompanying them at the Magauffa County Extension Service 4 to 6 with an Easter egg hunt. Here are the rest of tonight's calendar announcements brought to you by Magauffa Farm Bureau.
A reminder that bud vases are needed. May Bryan is taking them up and is going to turn them over to the Burning Fork Community Church to take to residents of the nursing home. You can drop them off at the Magauffa County Senior Citizen Center. So if you've got a vase lying around, maybe see one out on the cheap in a store or somewhere, pick it up. Drop it off at the Magauffa County Senior Citizen Center. And if you want to be free, tobacco free, if you want to stop using tobacco, well, they can help. There is a class set for tomorrow. It's free as well at the Magauffa County Health Department, the Kentucky Cancer Program, as well as the Health Department. They will have all sorts of information and facilities for you to use to become tobacco free. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock at your Magauffa County Health Department. And if you ever have any questions, call them at 349-6212. A proper fruit tree pruning class is coming up this Wednesday at noon. Lunch and the class are all free, and the class will have an on-farm fruit tree planting demonstration that will follow later this Wednesday at noon with a free lunch at your Magauffa County Extension office. A proper fruit tree pruning class with the on-farm fruit tree pruning demonstration at a later date, and it's all free. And the Sagersville Pentecostal Church of Christ wants to remind you that they've got revival going on nightly at 7. Come and join them. They are letting the Lord end it with different preachers and singers each night. Come and join them. Pastor Philip Puckett and everyone says, come and join them for revival, nightly at 7. And moving on to other announcements, I've got another one saying that chicken and dumplings are going to be served with mashed potatoes, green beans, biscuit, and cake. I said cake, just $7. The Sagersville Free Will Baptist Church is putting together this dinner, and it's Friday, 10:30 till 2. Call 349-5740 ahead if you want to order, or the day of at the church, 349-5524. Chicken and dumplings on behalf of the Sagersville Free Will Baptist Church. Eat with them this Friday, 10:30 till 2. And bring the kids and eat breakfast with the Easter Bunny this Saturday at the Extension Service. Kids eat for $3, adults eat for $5, and it's bunny pancakes, sausage, and a drink, and a picture with the Easter Bunny. And they will deliver, hosted by the Funyuns Extension Homemakers Club. Bring the family and eat with the Easter Bunny this Saturday morning, 9 till 11:30. And this is your invitation for the first annual Magauffa County Relay for Life Easter 5K Run. That's right, it's $15 per person to enter. Proceeds go to support the Relay for Life. First 100 participants get a bunny ear headband to wear while you're running, and $50 through $15 gift cards for first, second, and third place winners. It's in the Ramey Park in Sagersville this Saturday. Race will start at 10, registration at 9. If you have any questions, there's a number on the bottom of your screen to call, 349-8309. And farmers market vendors are wanted. This is actually for producers and vendors in an effort to organize a farmers market in Magauffa County for this market season. If you are an interested producer or vendor, attend the meeting Tuesday the 31st, a week from tomorrow. So I'll put it on over and on the back burner for a few days. But next Tuesday at 6 o'clock at your Magauffa County Extension Service. And I told you I had a lot going on in the calendar tonight. If you have something you want to include, birthdays and anniversaries too, send them to us. This is how you do it, and we'll tell everyone about it. For now, a few messages from a few of our sponsors. Let them know you're watching, and our last few headlines will follow. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
Thursday night's regular session of the Magafa County Board of Education began with a special presentation on behalf of two student Senate members of KVEC within the Magafa County High School, those being junior Kelsey Cole and senior Dalton Howard.
They addressed the superintendent on board how they had been working to improve school culture and overall recognize and tackle the problems about the lack of student activity or participation and getting students involved in learning as well as other facets of being a student. They've made posters, they've made some videos, they made some impressive videos to get students inspired to join clubs such as the FBLA. They had a video presentation on hand showing a lot of buzz that was created about the works that they had done. They also said that they had planned to recognize student achievements in the future with a Student of the Month and a Teacher and Classified Staff of the Month as well, and that they're also working on an underage drinking campaign. And while at the top of the program I referred to a raise for some, it's actually all. According to Financial Officer Kevin Owens with the Magafa County Board of Education, all school personnel receiving a raise effective next fiscal year.
Next meeting to get you all to review and consider approving those. We have one for our certified staff. All certified staff will be getting a 2% raise. Our classified staff go up 2% as well, and our Head Start staff goes up as 2%. So beginning July 1, everyone that works for the Board of Education will get a 2% pay raise. So, but again, I want to get...
And I'm sure that's welcome news to all those employees within the school system. Maybe not so welcome is the fact that I have more news than time, more Magafa County Board of Education meeting coverage tomorrow, as well as other news you'll only see with me. But for now, let's wrap it up and put the lid on it tonight with your Licking Valley RECC forecast. So I doubled up here at the studio today. Started off at 33, peaked at 66. We'll fall back to 39 tonight. A beautiful Monday. Increasing clouds, though, and winds from the north-northeast, 5 miles per hour, becoming calm. An average night, not too shabby. Tomorrow, well, we're going to start to see a whole lot of curves being thrown at us, and we're going to cover all the bases as far as elements in the weather forecast. 20% chance of showers after 11 a.m., mostly cloudy skies tomorrow, and a low of 50 tomorrow night with those mostly cloudy skies still hanging around. Winds, not much to speak of, southeast around 5 miles per hour. However, tomorrow is going to be the day before the high. 70 degrees, maybe even a tick or two better on your Wednesday. This is where we peak. Partly sunny, 70, a low of 54. By Wednesday night, however, mind you, keep in mind we'll also see wind gusts during the day of 7 to 17 miles per hour. A chance of showers late Wednesday night. That is out and ahead of a cold front, and this one is a good one. It's also going to give us a chance for some flakes here and there, possibly, as we get a little longer down the road. I'm having trouble even talking about it. Thursday, showers likely. It's going to be wet. It's going to be cloudy. Temperatures holding steady at around 65 here in eastern Kentucky in the viewing area, a low of 38, but it's not going to be a nice day. It's going to be followed by a partly sunny day on your Friday, but this is where the colder air will certainly take effect. This cold front's a slow mover. Going to take a while to get in and get out. There's your Friday, 48, partly sunny, still a 40% chance of some showers. And on Friday night, we'll be below freezing with some precipitation still in the mix. We could see that change over to a little snow on your Friday night. Saturday, that snow may linger around. No big accumulations, nothing of that nature. Just a real staunch reminder that, hey, it's not over yet. Saturday, 42, another 29-degree low with some sunshine, but a chance of some early snow. We'll see things clear up and clear out by Saturday night, but another chance of rain lies around the bend as soon as Sunday, when temperatures start to rebound back to around 51 degrees. Well, that is indeed my time. Not the note I'd hoped to go out on, but let me say this. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We hope to see you back here tomorrow night for more news I promise you only see here on Your News Today. And remember, yournewstoday.com anytime you can't catch a show on Howard's Cable or Foothills Broadband. Thank you all for watching, and good night.